Well, I want to talk a little bit about the future of humankind and the climate crisis. The end. So at the end of the last decade, that is several weeks ago, I made a video about the legislative successes and failures of the current Icelandic government, and among other things I mentioned the climate crisis. Now, I mentioned that I didn't really know what exactly the government was doing there, because I didn't have the information in front of me at that very point. However, as I was recently going through the log that I have about ideas for videos to record, by the way, for every video that I make I have like 5 or 10 other projects listed that I either don't find the proper information on, or just don't have the time or patience, mainly just not the patience, or just for whatever reason just decide on not do or just forget about. And in this log I actually came across this particular news story here from visir.is about what exactly the government is doing about the climate. If only I had remembered that I had that when I made the video a few weeks ago. But before I talk about that, I also want to mention, so recently I watched a video on the Rational National, which is a YouTube channel run by a fellow named David Dole out of Canada. Yeah, even though I do watch the Rational National every now and again, I want to note here for the record that although I find his videos informative and interesting, every now and then I do not think that me and David are cut from the same cloth politically. I am most definitely quite a bit more conservative than he is. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, anyway, the video he talked about mentioned an article and a tweet by Greta Thunberg, you know who, and how she was criticizing the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, about his lack of action in combating the climate crisis, and in fact doing the exact opposite. Apparently they are gonna drill for a hell of a lot more oil in Canada, and they're gonna, according to Trudeau, gonna produce it in the cleanest way possible. I guess it's gonna be kind of like Donald Trump's clean coal initiative or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, even though Justin Trudeau apparently gives a lot of mentions the climate crisis a lot and talks about as if he's trying to combat it, apparently he isn't really doing so. Now, Justin Trudeau, of course, is the leader of the Liberal Party, and from what I've read is an absolute total SJW, but yeah, but still a complete capitalist. By the way, I don't want to sound like I consider myself to be some sort of an anti-capitalist. I'm not, but I don't mind capitalism just as long as it doesn't get in the way of progress. My view on socialism is pretty much the same thing. Capitalism and socialism are probably not the perfect opposites of one another, but same thing with socialism. I don't mind socialism as long as it doesn't get in the way. And when it comes to combating the climate crisis, everything that gets in the way needs to get the fuck out. Now, let's now return our attention back to Iceland. So, what is Katrín Jakobsdóttir's government doing? Well, let's get back to the article that I mentioned earlier. The article has a lot of acronyms and names of organizations and groups, so I'm just gonna read it in Icelandic and subtitle it. It's way easier than me trying to translate it on the go. So here goes. Atvinnulífið hefur tekið höndum saman með stjórnvöldum á nýjum samstarfsvettvangi þar sem að samræna á áætlanir til að Ísland nái markmiðunum kolefnisjöfnun árið 2040. Forsætisráðherra segir samvinnu sem forsendu þess að árangur náist og með henni séu eldri kynslóðir að svara áskorunum þeirra kynslóða sem nú séu að vaxa úr grasi. Að samstarfsvettvangnum standa forsætisráðuneytið, umhverfis- og auðlindaráðuneytið, utanríkisráðuneytið og atvinnu- og nýsköpunarráðuneytið. Samtök Atvinnulífsins, Samtök Iðnaðarins, Samorka, I don't know what that is, Orkuklasinn, Viðskiptaráð Íslandsstofa og fjöldi fyrirtækja. Guðmundur Ingi Guðbrandsson umhverfisráðherra var vonum ánægður með samkomulagið. Ég tel að það sé gríðarlega mikilvægt að við vinnum saman að þessu sem ég hef kallað stærstu áskorun og 21. aldarinnar, segir Guðmundur Ingi. Katrín Jakobsdóttir forsætisráðherra segir undirskriftina í dag marka formlegt upphaf samvinnu stjórnvalda og atvinnulífsins í loftslagsmálum sem að hún hafi lengi kallað eftir. In other words, to put this into plain fucking English, instead of the government, I don't know, setting up some sort of a carbon emission quota system, I don't fucking know. Instead of the government working against private interests and public and therefore also public interests, these organizations are now walking hand in hand with the government in order to collectively find ways to innovate. Innovation is the key word here, to try to reduce carbon emissions. And finally, I want to end on the words of Þórdís Kolbrún Gylfadóttir, who is Minister of Industry, Tourism and Innovation. Was briefly also Minister of Justice before they appointed Áslaug Arna. I mentioned that in another video. Anyway. Það mun taka á að ná markmiðum í loftslagsmálum en Þórdís Kolbrún Gylfadóttir, iðnaðar, ferðamála og nýsköpunarráðherra segir það líka fela í sér mikil tækifæri. Út frá menntun, hugviti, út frá nýsköpun og út frá ímynd. Þar skipta þessar atvinnugreinar svo miklu máli, segir Þórdís Kolbrún. Remember, Þórdís Kolbrún ain't nobody's liberal, ain't nobody's left-winger either. She's a member of the Independence Party. But what she sees in this is investment opportunity. There are currently all over the world great investment opportunities to invest in green energy, newer ways to get rid of our newer ways to get rid of our waste more efficiently. The world's next billionaire class will be those dominating in the green energy market, those that will find some materials that will gradually replace plastics. These are all investment opportunities, and guess what? Investment opportunities is pretty much what capitalism is built on. So the government is doing is not hindering the growth of capitalism, it's just rerouting it to better fit the needs of the people. In other words, the government is not interfering in the market more than to hinder any growth, just to put the growth where it needs to be for the betterment of the society, and that is how the climate crisis should be fought. But what does it matter? It's already too late. We're all gonna fucking die. Don't have any children. Just dig your grave right now. Fuck yours. Credit where credit is due. It appears that we actually have a government that is actually responsibly trying to take on the climate crisis. Sorry for the very dark comments, about how we're all gonna die, and, I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in, but yeah, I made some rant about whatever, there's nothing to be done because we're all gonna die anyway, but we're all gonna die either way, one way or another, so I guess climate change or not, that's not gonna change. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, like and subscribe and share this video and stuff like that, and I've been sober for 12 hours now, and it's time to change that. We're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna fucking die.